Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is your Screenwriter's Rant on Red Island. Story takes place in Madagascar in 1971, and to me, it's an example of an art house trailer that feels like it knows too much and doesn't really communicate it to the potential audience. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 14 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So at first, it's very light trailer, some nice music. It's almost like a summer camp. You've got kids meeting, got adults partying. I'm not sure what language they're speaking. I'm not sure what they speak in Madagascar in 1971. But then it starts to get dark for reasons I still don't understand after watching the trailer. Now, I can imply a few things, as I often do in these trailer analysis, but it's really hard to figure it out, and I shouldn't have to. You're trying to sell the movie to me, so I go see it. Tell me what the hell's going on. Madagascar 1971, a bit obscure, I would say. Now, if you're showing this in Madagascar, I assume they know what the heck's going on. One of the quotes is something like colonialization seen through a child's eye. Well, that's a bit of a clue. It also sounds like a bit of a nod to Joan, relax. A bit of a nod to some politics. So you don't have to dance around it. Yeah, here it is. A masterful portrayal of colonialism through a child's eyes. Joan, relax. Not sure what I'm supposed to take from that. I don't know the history of Madagascar. A couple of lines in that direction would have helped me out. Like, I don't know. There might be an invasion of some kind, which is kind of what happens. A woman says, I saw parachutes, hundreds of parachutes. I don't know if she's dreaming. Here they are, some soldiers. I'm not sure what country they're from. France? They kind of look French. They have berets. It's 1971. Even if it was an army I was kind of familiar with, a foreign army I was kind of familiar with, I don't know, I'd recognize the uniforms. In 1971, they would be different. So you really gotta... And then, of course, there's an interracial love story, which is fine, but, like, that's just more stuff I gotta process to try to figure out if I want to see this thing. And then here it ends with this. Okay, there's some sort of invasion. I don't know about the invasion of Madagascar in 1971. Was there a war? Maybe you should tell me. And look at this. What the F? I can't even read it when I blew it up. Do I have to put this under a microscope to see these credits? Not that I would recognize any of the names. I'm sure that it's all in whatever language they're speaking. It might be French. I'm not sure. But man, you're really making me work to figure out what the hell this movie's about. Is there a write-up? Well, at least there's a write-up. Okay. So, based on what I saw, I would say the first act is everybody's having a great time on Madagascar. There's a lot of intrigue at the military base, I think. Kids meeting, adults having an affair. And then there's some sort of invasion. And then it all goes to hell. And how does it end? I guess because it's an anti-colonial movie, everybody gets kicked out, and the Madagascars win. I don't know. I don't know the history of Madagascar. It's a bit obscure. Needed a little more info here. All right, let me read the write-up. I don't know the actors. Director is Robin Campillo. Synopsis: living on the last remaining military bases amidst a hedonistic group of French armed forces in the 1970s Madagascar, okay, 10-year-old Thomas begins to find cracks in the surface of his family's blissful existence in the idyllic island. Taking inspiration from his comic book hero Fantomet, Thomas spies on those around him, discovering the hidden and tangled political and sexual lives of the colonizers and the colonized. As relocation looms, Thomas questions whether the memories he has made are the ones he should remember fondly. Wow. That's a bit much to put on a 10-year-old protagonist, I would say. A bit much. So, a whole lot of stuff going on here. And I assume it's French, so it'll probably focus more on the relationships than it would on, say, the actual history. But yeah, I mean, look, kids in the 70s, they would have seen some things as a kid from the 70s, but not so sure I want to see it portrayed in a movie necessarily. I mean, when you're talking about the hidden, tangled political and sexual lives of the colonizers and the colonized, you're kind of putting this through a lens that's very political without explaining the politics of the time. Now, I guess I could go do my research to see your damn movie, but I'm probably not going to do that. Nah. I want more about the story, unless this is a documentary, in which case, okay, you're teaching me about Madagascar in the 1970s. But give me a few lines here. Give me a few lines. Like, the colonel is going to have us leave in 2 weeks. Okay. Now I know it's a military base and people are leaving. One of the locals here may be saying something like, you French have been here for how many years? I don't think what you're doing is right. Or you've always you think you run the world, like line like that to imply a little resentment. If the resentment exists, I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's a big riot going on to drive the French out. Maybe it was a peaceful handover of power. I don't know. I don't know that much about Madagascar in 1971. But it's your job as the filmmaker to set up at least the story. At least enough of the story that I can... I didn't even know who the protagonist was. I didn't know it was a kid. I mean, it could have been. It felt more like an ensemble cast, the way you cut the trailer. I would want to know more about, if the kid's the protagonist, more about him and his situation. So, I feel like the people who made this cut a trailer and they kind of don't care whether you are up on this or either you're up on it or you're not. Okay. I don't feel like a lot of audience members are going to do their research after seeing this trailer just to decide whether or not they're going to go see the movie. And you're not inspiring a lot of trust by just kind of putting it out there and expecting us to know things. And you could call me stupid for not knowing the history of Madagascar in 1971. I mean, I've been called out before. I made mistakes. Maybe it's there and I missed it. But when it comes to a trailer, it's about selling the movie and what the story's about. And I think this fails. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the other video platforms, which I guess I'm not allowed to mention without getting slammed in the algorithm. The green one, the orange one, and a black one. I'll be at Clements Farms tomorrow for the Blueberry Festival from 10 to 4, and then at Chimney Rustic Ales in Hamilton, New Jersey from 5 to 9 for my talks on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.